I'm in my late teens, early 20s, fresh out of a relationship and ready to meet the man of my dreams. So I sign up for True.com, a now defunct online dating service. And this is about a week before I'm headed on a family vacation to Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, which you'll know about if you heard my first-person art story. But anyways, my plan is to exchange some messages with people, set up a date or 2 or 3 for when I get back. But on day 1, I match with Roger. Roger lives in Paramus, New Jersey. At the time, I'm living in Greenwich, Connecticut. It's a little over an hour away. We exchange a few messages. We have a decent telephone conversation. But he is really enthused, really excited about meeting. And he says, I really don't want to wait until after you get back from vacation, so can we please meet before? And I tell him, I would love to meet you, but also I have 1 weekend left before I go on this big trip. I really don't feel like driving all that way. Like maybe we can just do it when I get back. And he says, no, I'm willing to drive the whole way. Now, you should know about me that I have always been a sucker for a flattering gesture. So I tell him, okay, well, if you're willing to come all this way to meet me, we can do whatever you want to do. Now, something else I probably should not do is offer to do whatever someone wants to do that I've never met before, but thankfully, Roger has a really PG idea. So he says, you live right near a mall, right? And I say, yeah, the Stanford Mall. And he says, well, I've been looking for a chocolate brown button-down shirt. So why don't we meet and we can shop for a chocolate brown button-down shirt for me, and then we can go to bowling and a movie. Bowling and dinner. And I say, okay, sure. Although, come to think of it, I've mentioned that he lives about 5 minutes from the Paramus Mall, which I think is like the 2nd largest mall in the nation. And I live by this dinky little Stanford Town Center mall that has like a fraction of the stores. Also, I hate shopping. I don't care about the wardrobe of some dude I've never met. And chocolate brown button-down shirts are not fashionable. But again, I've told him that I'm willing to do whatever he wants on a first date. So I say, sure, that sounds like a great idea. So the Saturday before I leave for my Mexico family vacation, I show up at the Stanford Town Center Mall, and I'm 10 minutes early because I'm compulsively early to everything. I have anxiety issues. So I show up at the mall ready to meet him, and my phone rings. So I pull out my Zach Morris cell phone because this was way back in the day, and I pick it up, and it's Roger, and he is panicked. He's like, I'm on the bridge, I'm running late, I don't know, there's traffic, I'm gonna get there late. And I say, it's okay, take a deep breath. I'm happy to hang out. I'll see you when you get there. And he says, well, actually, how about you go and find my chocolate brown button-down shirt for me? And so suddenly I morph from potential girlfriend into personal shopper, but I have always loved a mission. So I proceed to go to every store in the mall that has even a whisper of men's clothing. I ask sales associates if they have a chocolate brown button-down shirt. I go to the information desk. Like, I am on a mission. It takes me about 40 minutes to do this, but that's okay because he's 30 minutes late. And he gets there kind of sweaty, like very disgruntled and disheveled, and he launches into a monologue about how traffic sucks, no one can drive, this always happens to him, life is unfair. I listen to this for a good 10 minutes. He doesn't say sorry or thank you for waiting or ask me anything about myself, but I have low self-esteem, so I'm still in it. So he says to me, why don't you show me what you found? And I say, okay. So I take him to the first store, which is Macy's, and I'm telling him as we go to this store that, the mall does not have any straight up chocolate brown button downs, but I'm gonna do my best, right, to show you what I got. So we get to Macy's, and I pull out this beige shirt, and he looks at it. It's a beige button down shirt, but it's just not chocolate brown, and so he looks at it and he goes, that is ugly. So I put the shirt back, and I say, well, okay, let's go to the next store. So we're heading to the next store, and he's launching into a monologue about how he recently got promoted at work because he's so dynamic and everyone loves him and he's the center of his family and the center of attention. Still hasn't asked me a single question about myself. But I'm really actually quite proud of myself because at the next store, I've managed to find 2 chocolate brown button-down shirts. They happen to have white pinstripes on them, one slender pinstripes, the other thicker pinstripes, but I think I'm doing pretty well. So we're walking towards Abercrombie and Fitch, and he looks up at the store sign, and he goes, "Abercrombie? Don't you know I hate Abercrombie?" No, I don't, because I know nothing about him. This is the first time we're ever meeting. But we bypass Abercrombie, and we go to about 4 more stores where he proceeds to continue to be pretty dismissive to me and rude to salespeople, which, as I've told you, I have low self-esteem, so I'm okay with someone being rude to me, but you will not be rude to salespeople in my presence. So then, finally, we're headed to the last store, and I am in full-blown when will this be over mode. Like, I've given up trying to tell him anything about myself. I'm counting down the days. I'm envisioning beaches in Puerto Vallarta. And so we get to the last store, and I say, you know, this next one, it's like kind of paisley. It's got browns, it's got golds. It's cool, but I think it might be a little edgy for you. So I pull out the shirt, and he looks at it, and then he looks at me. And he goes, "What are you, an idiot? Can't you get it through your thick skull that when I say brown, I mean brown?" And a calm washes over me. And I look at him and I say, "I don't think they're gonna have what you're looking for." And he says, "All right, fine, why don't we just go bowling?" And he tells me that he's parked his newly detailed BMW in the garage. I don't know why I need to know that it's newly detailed or a BMW, but okay. And I tell him that I parked on the street, and he goes, "Well, okay, drive around and meet me, and we'll follow each other to the bowling alley." So I get out to my car, my sort of beat up Honda, and I'm sitting in it, and I call my then best friend Darren, and thankfully she picks up, and I say, "Darren, you know I've been on some bad dates, but I am on the worst date of my life. Will I be a total jerk if I leave this guy?" And she says, "Well, how bad is it? Scale of 0 to 10. And I say, "An 11? And she goes, "Go. Go." So I drive away, and I leave brown shirt guy behind, like, well, you guessed it, an idiot.